Hey, what's going on? It is super late, 2:11 a.m. in the morning, and I should be asleep, going to sleep shortly. But I've been trying to cut a video all day long, and I just didn't make it. However, I did not want to put my head down without telling you guys just a quick warning. Like, we really got to get to work, y'all. The economy, like, I'm not going to come in here and be um, all doom and gloom or anything like that, but the economy, all of these natural disasters going on, money, job market, the stock market, a lot of stuff is happening right now. And I really, really hope that none of my viewers, really anyone, I really hope that no one is allowing this to get to you mentally, because you are going to need your brain fully functional, operational, efficient. You're going to need everything that you have right now to really set yourself up nicely if you're not where you want to be. And from what I'm hearing from the people that are talking to me, have reached out to me, a lot of people are in a bind right now. And I'm one of those people. I am digging myself out of a hole that I have never been in this deep before in my life. I did another video earlier and I said, yeah, Cat Williams wasn't only talking about the celebrities when he said 2024 was going to be a time of, revelation. It's been a time of revelation for many of us. And so, guys, I watched Wall Street Trappers Trapping Tuesday a few hours ago. The show was phenomenal. 3 hours of straight up game about the stock market. And the wonderful thing about the stock market is when you learn about that, you really learn about the world on a much, like, things are so much bigger than you, this company that's sending you a bill, your city, your whatever. It's so much bigger than that. And when you truly understand how all this stuff works together, it is going to give you more intel to help you operate um more productively in your own life. Because what I'm seeing is that a lot of times when people reach out to me, and as you guys come in, say hey, give me some interaction since we're on here anyway. um but yeah, when people reach out to me, a lot of times they will ask a question that shows me they don't, and I'm not saying this from a place of being like angry, upset, or anything like that. I'm just saying this from a place of instructing you on what you need to do. When I hear certain questions, it tells me that a person does not have certain foundational elements that they need to do what they're trying to do. So regardless, like for example, let's say this, if I'm going over a credit report with someone, right? And I can just tell they freeze up at very, very simple questions. So it that speaks to a lack of confidence in the subject matter, which of course is why they reach out to me and do a consult. Of course, I get that, but it also just speaks to a sentiment I get from the person, that very often the person has been beaten down so much, whether it is on their job, at home, or both, in their family, within their friend group, or both. They have been beaten down so much they don't even trust themselves when they know the answer. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Because what I'm really wanting for everybody who ever tunes into any of my videos, I want you to start developing the confidence to assert yourself. None of these consumer protection laws mean anything if you don't have the confidence or the communication to at least try. Even if you fail, you will get the intel you need to do better the next go around. Every time you do something, you try something, you learn something. And if you keep on going, you'll be able to apply it the next go around and keep collecting what? Intel. Keep collecting what? Feedback. So that each time you get better and better, so that eventually you get that win that you want. We have got, we have really got to get more skills, y'all. And the way that society is going right now, they are setting us up to fail because they don't want us to develop the skills of communication. They don't want us to use technology for education. They only want us to use it for entertainment. They do not want you to do these things. They don't want you to know how to read. They don't want you to know how to write. They definitely don't want you to know how to comprehend. They don't want you to know how to make money multiply. They want you to only focus on making money. And that is a losing battle because there's an inverse relationship, right? To your energy. As you get older, the amount of energy that you can exhaust in creating money, and yeah, to your age versus your energy. Okay, when we're younger, We're dumb, most of us, but we have lots of energy. The older we get, the wiser we get, but we have less energy. So you cannot continue just to focus on making money. You've got to focus on making money multiply and protecting your money. I don't know if y'all remember, but not too long ago, well, I'm sorry, I said not too long ago. It's been probably about 2 years ago now. I had interviewed a gentleman that I affectionately call my little brother. He's in his late 20s, and he had to develop the skill set of taking multiple companies to court and winning. And he couldn't do it on his own. He had to get a consumer protection lawyer. But when all was said and done, even though they told him you have no case, even though they ignored all the letters that he sent to the credit bureaus, to the companies, even though they ignored him, he went and got a lawyer, took them to court, and walked away with $60K in a settlement. Late 20s. And I don't know if you guys know this or not. I would love for you to do research. But if you're needing money, and I'm not getting into the whole equity thing and the whole there is no money thing. Yeah, okay, cool. But for the purpose of being on the internet right now, and I'm definitely going to be speaking to some more things that you guys have asked me, because what I want you to understand is just because you cannot find the right information on the internet does not mean that you are not right in your assertions about certain things, especially if you've been doing your reading, especially if you've been in the books, learning about the courts, learning about equity, learning about consumer protection laws. And I know some people are like, well, consumer protection laws, you don't need that if you know equity. I still think consumer protection is a great basis to go on your path to equity, because it's going to make everything make greater sense. But I just got to tell y'all, man, it's so heavy on my heart for my situation, my family situation, and also many of you. Some I've met in person, many I have not, most of which I have not. But I'm telling y'all right now, like, man, if we do not get serious about rescuing ourselves, it's just going to be a sad state of affairs. And again, I'm not trying to be like doom and gloom before we go to bed, but very often I lose sleep just thinking about some of the things that I know, some of the things that I've been exposed to, and even putting together certain pieces of things that I'm working on. But I want you guys just to start really becoming super serious. That's the whole point of this. I am warning you to not continue the way you've been continuing up until this point. Become super, super serious about freeing yourself, about making sacrifices, about skill stacking, about plugging into the right groups, plugging into the right people, not just trying to seek everything out on YouTube, because some of the things that you guys are trying to do, you will never find it on YouTube. You know why? Because if a person who actually knows how to do it came onto YouTube and told you, they put a target on their back. They're going to have the feds at the door. They're going to have the alphabet group at the door, because certain information is not meant to be shared on these networks. Therefore, it will only be underground. And I want y'all to get that, because oftentimes y'all are like, oh, well, nobody's talking about this, so it must not be true. That's not the case. The case is people are not dull enough to talk about it online, because they know how to maneuver and they know what they need to do to not make themselves a target. I'm taking a week off gathering PDFs to upload to Speechify. Then at work, I listen to them. I'm studying all the government. Come on, hello. Come on, hello. That's what I'm talking about. Have a strategy. See, this is what I'm talking about. Have a strategy. This is not a person who's a novice. This is not a person who's saying, I don't know how. This is a person that is looking at technology, looking at the tools that are in our hand, our computer, your PDF. You want to start seeking out, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I wanted to do it tonight, but I said, Kim, don't do it. You're going to end up going to bed, having like an hour-long live stream, and then going to bed super duper late. But I definitely want to talk to you guys about artificial intelligence, AI. There's a woman called Tech with X. She is phenomenal. One of the best that I have heard talk about how artificial intelligence works in simple terms, but still in a way that makes it very relatable to you and emphasizes like how imperative it is that you understand that you don't have a choice. You have got to get into some of these AI tools. When Hinlo here talks about Speechify, that is not something I have heard. Just by looking at the name, I can pretty much deduce what it does. But What Hinlo is talking about right here is time efficiency, looking at the fact that, hey, I have to go to work, but I also have to consume this information. So what tool can I use to combine the two? That is being strategic. That is not being a victim. That is getting it done. And I really, really want y'all, because if you're on my channel, my channel is not a makeup channel. It's not a celebrity gossip channel, right? A few times I might mention some things in pop culture and make those references, but for the most part, we kind of get serious here, right? So that tells me that the type of people I'm dealing with. Hinlo said, yeah, it adds a lot of efficiency. It sounds like, is it like Otter AI? And guys, again, if you don't know these tools, when you hear something online that somebody is talking about, please don't ever just be like, well, I don't know what they're talking about. Write it down, look it up, become familiar with the tool. If you're listening to this, you should write down Speechify. You should write down Otter dot AI. That's what it is, right? Which is basically like a transcription service. I know Otter AI, and a lot of these things are either free or freemium sites. And free means it's just free. That's common sense, right? But freemium means it's free, but there's also a component that you can pay for to get premium like features. You can unlock premium content or premium tools or whatever. Okay, but a lot of these things, the free version alone is really, really good. I know I'm doing killer things with the free version of Canva for friends of mine that own businesses and need me to create flyers or forms for them, different announcement posters, banners, whatever the case may be, depending on the dimensions. But I only have the free version of Canva, and the way I've used it, you wouldn't even know. Do you know what I do? All I do is I spend a certain amount of time. Every now and then I go to YouTube and I type in Canva tutorial. And there are so many people doing crazy good Canva tutorials that really should be sold as classes, definitely could be sold as classes. And I watch the video and then I do. I watch the video and then I do what they said to do in the video. Oftentimes, it doesn't work out exactly like I thought, or it seems super easy when they do it. And then when I go to do it, I'm like, what did they do now? And if I watch a 12-minute video, it might take me an hour to figure out what they did. 30 minutes to an hour. But guess what? Once I got it, I got it. And so now I'm doing phenomenal things in Canva that make people think that I've paid for training when I really didn't. I'm just really utilizing the free tutorials on YouTube. And I'm challenging myself to learn a new skill every so often. And then I'm stacking those skills so that when I go to create, whatever in Canva, I can do it relatively quickly. It can read anything to me. So this is Hinlo. For my people that are not looking at the screen, I know I get a lot of people that say they watch my content while they're driving or doing other tasks. So they are not looking at the screen. So I'm just going to say that Hinlo made a comment saying that Speechify, which was referenced earlier, can read anything to me. Even pictures I take. What? Even pictures I take, PDFs, web pages, manual text, anything can be read to me. Great for studying skills, but still living active life. Wow. Oh, y'all, do me a favor. Tell me if I'm talking fast, because I have been listening to Wall Street Trappers 3-hour episode on double speed. So when I do that, I have a tendency to talk fast, and my mom and my son be like, what are you saying? And so, yeah, tell me if I'm talking too fast. I hope I'm not. It's a little bit too late now. I've been on for 13 minutes, but we shall see. Yeah, I'm going to look into that Speechify for real, Hinlo, because it sounds amazing. Sounds like something I could definitely use. You say I'm also studying law with it. Court websites. Come on, Hinlo. Court websites download a lot of info as PDFs. Press Control P, and then web page is saved as PDF. That's wonderful. So I will put this on my to-do list, and probably within the next 48 hours, I'm trying to set deadlines for myself, y'all. Within the next 48 hours, I'll be looking at a YouTube tutorial on Speechify. Thank you so much for sharing that resource. We'll definitely look into it. But guys, I want you to come up with a strategy. If you are not working enough on your job, okay, figure out what it is you are going to do. Are you going to do gig work? I know that a lot of the gig apps have greatly decreased their prices, and it is just modern day slavery, but still it is something. And if you are strategic, I know someone who drives, and they drive only in certain areas where they know that there's a certain demographic of people who have a certain medium income, so that literally they are being tipped pretty much the same amount that the ride is oftentimes. So the ride could be $30 and they might get a $20 tip, right? And that's their strategy. They pretty much stay in that area and they don't take rides for $2, for $4. They don't take sharing rides. And yeah, so that is their strategy. So they are making $100 or $200 every time they go out for the day in a relatively short period of time because they're being strategic. What I want everybody who listens to me to do is start being strategic. Have a goal, reverse engineer all of the steps from the end of the goal to where you need to start to get it done. And then just work at it bit by bit, bit by bit. If you do not do this, I promise you, whatever time you think is too much time for you to learn how to do this, you're going to find yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years later, still having not made any progress. So if you say, Kim, I really want to learn X and I think it's going to take me Y months to learn it, and that's just time I don't have right now, I'm telling y'all right now, when those months are up, you're going to wish you had started then. You're going to wish you had started then. Otherwise, every single year, you're going to keep saying, I don't have the time to do it. But you have to find a way to make time. And again, with all of these AI tools that we have nowadays, you don't even have to read a book anymore. You can go to Audible and have it read to you. Or a lot of books that I look for on Audible, do you know, before I buy them, I go to YouTube and type in the name and then say audiobook after it. And oftentimes it's on YouTube for free. Someone else has already put it there. So you don't even have to pay Audible. So money is never an excuse. It's never an excuse. Okay? It is not about the resources you have. Oftentimes, it is about how resourceful you are. And something that is going to make all of the difference in the world is your ability just to use the same device that you are listening to me on, to go to YouTube, to go to an AI like Copilot or ChatGPT and do a little bit of investigation. And then find the tool that is going to help you hit your goal. Super important, y'all. Super important. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Jobs are still like few and far between as far as helping you to earn a living wage. For the first time, I think ever, it is cheaper to live in an apartment than in a house. A lot of people are, if they want to buy a house, because now so many corporations have come into the areas where it used to be just single family homeowners that were trying to get their starter homes. Now corporations are moving, buying up houses, and we're literally going to see, y'all, I'm telling y'all, because it's already happened. We're literally going to see in the next few years homes that look like regular schmegular homes, but they function more so like boarding houses for regular schmegular folks. Meaning people are going to start buying up four-bedroom homes and then renting out the rooms at an astronomical rate, and then giving each one of those room renters, these are your common areas. You're going to start seeing that. And it's just, you want to position yourself so that you're not at the mercy of those people when this happens, and that's your only option. Because a lot of times people say, I ain't doing that, but oftentimes you won't have a choice if you do not aggressively prepare not to have to do that. There was a gentleman who bought an investment property in Atlanta, and it was a really big investment property. He really wanted the property. He paid cash for this multi-million-dollar deal. And a lot of people were like, that's so stupid. You should leverage financing. Everybody knows in real estate, you leverage finance. And the guy was just saying, y'all are not paying attention to the economy and how things are going. I really wanted that building. I know what I'm going to use that building for. We are no longer in a market where you can dilly-dally around and have all of these contingencies in your contract. When people are selling, they want a sure buyer, and there's nothing more sure than cash. So he's like, I could have saved some of my cash and not paid $3.6 million for this building. But at the end of the day, I wanted the building. I've already done the ROI on what I'm going to use it for and what it's going to return. And it's going to be way more than what I spent. And I could not risk the ROI by putting in a deal with contingencies and waiting on financing and all of this other stuff, and then possibly have another person come snatch up the building, and now I lose my ROI. So these are things that you have to understand. These are things that you have to know. These are things that you want to start being more strategic, y'all. We are in the beginning of October. We are about to close out Q4 of 2004. In Q1 of 2025, that's when most people are going to get the largest chunks of money that they normally get all year. Why? Because it's going to be tax time. Are you making plans right now for what you're going to do with your tax refund check if you get one? Or is it just going to flow through your hands like all of the other ones? Are you making plans right now to, if you say you want to learn trading, if you say you want to learn the stock market, are you making plans right now to plug into something like Trapping Tuesdays every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern? I know I am right now. I think tonight was episode 113. I am right now going back and looking back at all of his episodes. It is very time consuming. Luckily, I can listen to it on double speed, right? But I'm looking at all his episodes and taking notes. And it is amazing the value that Wall Street Trapper has dropped absolutely for free every Tuesday at 7 p.m. since what, 2022? Crazy value. So again, money is not an excuse. Time is not an excuse. Train your brain, train your ear to start listening to stuff a little more quickly. I swear, when I listen to something in normal speed now, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is killing me. So it helps when I can look at something that's an hour and it's done in 30 minutes. It helps when I'm taking notes and I'm speaking the notes instead of typing the notes. It helps when I say, what did he say again about this particular thing? And then I can go back to my notes, hit Control-5, type in a key word that I remember, and then go back exactly to that point in the video where he said it, and then go back to the video and listen to how he said it to get more context, because I'm still just new to this. But I'm asking you guys, maybe you don't have time to learn about the stock market right now before you get your tax refund check in a few months, but can you plan to do something like, and I'm not saying you have to do this, of course, I don't know you don't have to do anything, but I'm just giving you some ideas of how you can start taking more control. Can you start doing something? If you say you want to learn Wall Street, can you commit to watching Wall Street Trapper every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and then do that for a good year, so that by the time maybe you don't do it in 2025, maybe you're not ready by then, but by the time you get your 2026 tax refund check, don't you think you can take a few dollars and put it into some ETFs? Don't you think you can take a few dollars and put it into some, whether you want to do futures, Forex, or whatever the case, but Trap does stocks and options. But don't you think you take a few dollars and put it into some options? And this time, instead of spending your tax refund check to pay the bills, you spend the interest or the profits, the gains. That's what I was looking for. You spend the gains that you get from the market to pay the bills, and you still keep that initial amount, and you just keep reinvesting it. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could open up I want to say sandbox. I'm not in tech. What you call it? Do you think you could open up a paper trading account so that you can practice for the next year, to make sure that you have these concepts? Y'all, we got to get our minds sharp. And again, this wealth gap, the prices of food, the prices of living, the older you get, I'm not trying to curse you with my words, but normally, if you're not doing some type of really intense self-care, exercise, biohacking type stuff to make sure that you are getting optimal results from your body, the majority of us sit too much, have bad posture, eat processed foods, so our bodies are deteriorating. You have less energy and less time to get it right. That's just a fact. So, all right, dang it, 24 minutes. I got to go to bed, y'all. I hope this makes sense to you. Again, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, but I really am serious about showing up again, telling you guys where I'm at, and trying to help you in any way that I can. Again, that I can, because I have my own stuff going on, but it needs to be said. And I love to come on the internet and get a good kiki and get a good laugh, but there has to be a time when we got to start adulting. Things are too dire for us not to start adulting. Prayers going out to anybody who is or has family in the path of Hurricane Milton down there in Florida. I'm in Georgia. We had a lot of traffic today, and I think my my voice sounds like this because I'm thinking about the fact that just last week, my area, I'm seeing all of the trees and all of the debris and all of the stuff from Hurricane Helene in my area. My son recently just went back to school, and he said one of his classmates still don't have power. Can you believe that? So it's been over a week without power. So here we are in Savannah, Georgia, still dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And right now on our highways, we got people coming up from Florida. Traffic is crazy. People coming up from Florida. And my heart just goes out to the people who are saying, I don't have the money to leave. Jesus. You don't have the money to leave. So you're a sitting duck in the midst of a storm that your was it the mayor or was it the governor, whoever that lady was? I'm sorry. But thank you for your realness. What's going on inside out, Delilah? I think I said that right. But and you're welcome. Thank you for this comment. But can you imagine being a sitting duck in an area where your politician got on the news and just said, "Hey, listen, if you don't leave, you're dead." And you don't have the money to leave? How did we get here? Good night, y'all. Take care of yourselves.